WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. The city of Columbus releases body camera footage from an incident where a police officer pointed a taser at a man while being treated at the hospital.
Shut up! First off, you can stop right now.
See what I'm talking about?
Second, you got hit in the head with a supposed bat last week.
Now in the video, you can see and hear the man yell and curse the officer and others at Baptist Golden Triangle's emergency room. This happened on September 11th. Sources tell WCBI the officer with the taser is Tony Howard. She never tases the man, and that is the only interaction where a taser is shown in the hour-long video. The man was arrested and had a warrant for his arrest.
Pontotoc police detain a juvenile following a social media post. The post on Snapchat included a picture of someone wearing a mask with the caption, quote, "Las Vegas ain't the biggest shooting. Just wait. Everybody watch out at Pontotoc," end quote. There was increased police presence around Pontotoc High School today after the post, and Police Chief Randy Tudor says a juvenile has been detained. Investigators don't believe there was an actual plan in place for a shooting incident.
Prentiss County investigators are trying to identify a body found this afternoon. Coroner Greg Sparks says the person was found in a wooded area in the northeast part of the county off Tishomingo County Road 133. An autopsy will be performed. If you have any information, call the Prentiss County Sheriff's Department. Is facing burglary and aggravated stalking charges in Starkville. 28-year-old Brenton Pace was arrested yesterday. The alleged incident happened on Hartness Street early Monday morning. Pace is being held at the Oktibbeha County Jail on a $60,000 bond. Anyone with information on the incident should call the Starkville Police Department.
A Clay County man will spend the next 5 years in prison for attacking another man with a box cutter. Joshua Ross pleaded guilty to aggravated assault in Clay County Circuit Court. Ross was charged with stabbing Reginald Gates in the leg with a box cutter in September 2015. Judge Lee Coleman sentenced Ross to also pay a $1,200 fine and court costs. The reward for information about the killing of 7 horses and 2 donkeys in Chickasaw County has climbed to over $10,000.
Sheriff James Meyer says deputies continue to investigate a case unlike any he has ever seen. Our Jory Talley joins us in the studio now with the very latest on that.
Sheriff Myers says some of the horses were still alive when deputies found them in the Van Fleet community back on September 19th. He says their deaths were slow and tragic, but investigators are not letting this case turn cold.
This peaceful pasture is where 7 horses and 2 donkeys would roam before they were shot and killed nearly 2 weeks ago. Van Fleet and the intersection of County Roads 118 and 119 is a quiet area, but people are still unnerved that the shooter is still not in jail. Sheriff James Myers says the heinous act will not go unpunished.
If that person or person is watching this, we're not going to give up, and it'll make it a whole lot easier on you. Come see us, come turn yourself in.
Myers says the mass killing of the defenseless animals is a felony case. Investigators continue to run down information and are calling in help.
We've took this case very serious, and we've been working on it every day. We have got the Mississippi Ag Theft Division working with us, so there is a state agency involved, and it's a top priority.
Law enforcement remain hopeful someone will give them a new lead.
Through Crime Stoppers, the PETA organization is offering a $5,000 reward. There is a private reward through the family, and then we have another reward that's offered from out of state, and they've asked me to remain anonymous. Which we will, but all these rewards together would be a pretty substantial amount.
Myers hopes this horrible case is a learning lesson for others on ways to settle a dispute.
If a horse or cow or any other animal gets on your property, call us, and there's ways to handle it through court. It may not be a fast remedy, but do it the legal way, and that way it doesn't get to this point.
Anyone with information should contact the Chickasaw County Sheriff's Department or Crime Stoppers of Northeast Mississippi at 1-800-773-TIPS.
West Point's new police chief is sworn into office today. This morning, Avery Cook took the oath. The veteran law enforcement officer has 18 years of experience, including a stint as assistant chief. He joined the Clay County Sheriff's Department in 2013. Cook is looking forward to returning to the department.
I had a lot of support today come out from the community, from the board members that showed me a lot of support. So that's a good thing when you're in a position like this to have support from your board members and your community. So I look forward to working with the board and with the community.
And Cook got right to work right after that ceremony this morning.
An unusual delay for Highway 45 alternate drivers this afternoon. Parts of the northbound lanes were closed while firemen fought a trash fire on the edge of the road. It started when a garbage hauler noticed smoke coming from his truck. The driver dumped the trash to keep it from destroying the vehicle. Fire departments from Noxubee and Lowndes counties responded to that fire. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and meteorologist Amanda Rendles joins us with your first look.
Well, as we look out, a live look over Tupelo with our Alva Insurance Skycam, you can see the beginnings of a gorgeous sunset here across the area. Right now, we've dropped down to around 83 degrees, but we still have those winds out of the east around 10 miles per hour. You don't have to look too far for some rain, but again, we're not going to see any of that. It's going to kind of die off as it continues to push off to the east, so we'll stay dry as we get through the rest of the week, but through the rest of tonight, we'll see temperatures drop down into the low 70s. I'll have your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
When you take out the trash, the last time you may see it is when the truck drives away with it.
That's true, but for some area landfills, that trash still has a purpose as an electricity source.
WCBI's Parker King speaks with the managers at
I'm
Three
excited
Rivers
about this story.
Landfill. You are. He joins us in the studio, and he's equally as excited.
Yes, I am, guys. As kids, many of us may have learned about renewable energy sources, wind, solar, water, but you wouldn't think to put garbage in that mix. However, for around 5 years, that is exactly what Three Rivers has been doing with their garbage, and it benefits the surrounding area.
This Three Regional Landfill is designed to be a benefit for this community. Everything we do at Three Rivers is to benefit the community.
For the 7 neighboring Mississippi counties, all non-hazardous waste is required by law to come to Three Rivers. That's a lot of garbage. By lining the base of the landfill, methane or greenhouse gases that comes from the decomposing garbage is able to be turned into electricity.
The gas comes down, hits a dropout tank at a flare skid down from just south of here. So we run both the engine and the flare together to make sure we destroy as much of the gas as we can that comes out of the landfill.
From there, the gas runs down a long pipe to a network of 3 filtration tanks.
They actually run in series, so it goes in and out, in and out, in and out 3 times. Cleans the gas up really well, hits a blower, and then runs to our engine.
Producing electricity to dispense to the community, benefiting both residents and the environment.
We're able to now, with this electrical generation project, take a waste byproduct that would otherwise escape into the atmosphere and be bad for the atmosphere, and we pull it in through a well fill system into this engine, and the engine produces 991 kilowatts per hour.
It's no small amount of power either.
It's enough electricity to power up to 1,000 homes.
Three Rivers sells that electricity, and that money is used to reduce the fees it charges to use the landfill.
It's $22 a ton, which is about half of the southeastern average and about 1/3 of the national average.
Manager Doug Wiggins tells us their facility is designed to hold a second engine, something they hope to become a reality in the future.
We would be very interested in looking at an additional opportunity to bring on board.
There are federal regulations to rid landfills of methane gas should the levels become too high. Three Rivers started this before those regulations were put into place because they saw the benefit it could serve to the people in that area. And that right there is what makes their efforts a special one.
Super cool concept
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Love that. All right, it's never too early to start planning for that perfect career.
Exactly. When we come back, we find out how some kids are getting a jump start on their future.
Welcome back, everyone. 8th graders from across Northeast Mississippi will have a chance this week to get a look at a variety of possible career choices. The 3rd annual Imagine the Possibilities Career Expo kicked off at the Bancorp South Arena in Tupelo. More than 150 companies, government agencies, and other businesses have interactive exhibits set up there. The students choose which career paths they want to explore, and then they visit the booths talking with professionals in various fields.
I believe that the data shows that 8th grade is really the age that you want to target young children, so as they develop their options and their ideas for their future, if we share with them everything that's possible, that they can, make really great selections.
What we're hoping to do is inspire, educate, and engage. These young men and women have choices in front of them, and we just want to highlight to them some of the opportunities that could be in front of them in the future.
The Toyota Wellspring Education Fund is the primary sponsor of the event. WCBI has a booth there. Young people are there testing their on-camera skills, probably doing a whole lot better than we are today.
Well, if you're riding around in Starkville, don't be surprised if you start seeing pink. 4 County Electric Power Association workers are sporting pink hard hats for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Employees at the Starkville office received the new year this morning. The company wants to honor those who are fighting and remind others to donate to cancer research.
In 2008, I lost my mother to this dreadful disease, and I got to thinking about what could we do as a company for our community and our members to enhance, the month of October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And in doing so, I thought about the pink hard hats, and I proposed it to the linemen to see what they thought about it, and they were all on board with it.
There's more information on our website, WCBI.com.
A Winston Academy football player continues to recover after being injured in a game Friday night. Senior Zachary McDill suffered a severe neck injury after his head was kicked during a play. McDill had to be airlifted to a Jackson hospital. Doctors say he had swelling around his spinal cord. McDill was released from the hospital yesterday and was able to stop by to see his teammates. Tonight at 9 and 10, hear more from his coach, Andy Greening, on McDill's recovery.
Well, it'll be another calm, cool, comfortable evening in store. We'll see temperatures dropping down into the upper 50s. We'll have your full forecast and a look at your 7-day coming up after the break.
Your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Amanda Reynolds.
We have the makings of a beautiful sunset here in downtown Columbus, as you can see on our Alpha Insurance Skycam. Temperature is pretty nice out there. We've dropped down to 82 degrees, but again, we have those breezes out of the east, and we'll continue to have them as we go into this evening. But most of us, for the most part, in the low 80s. Louisville has dropped back into the 70s, but we'll all drop down into the 70s over the next few hours. We're all clean and clear here on radar in our area, but back to the northwest, there's pretty good amount of moisture associated with this cold front. It's going to continue pushing off to the east, but any of that rain likely not going to make it this far before it peters out. But there's also been some active weather back to the west. Out in the Mountain West, they've actually seen quite a bit of snow, anywhere from just a few inches to up to 40 inches in the peaks of the mountains. And for some, it's actually been record-breaking snow. So over in Haver, Montana, they have received 13 inches in the last 2 days. That breaks the 2-day snowfall record. for the month of October, and they only need another 2.7 inches to break the all-time October snowfall record. So some intriguing weather going out in the west, but here closer to our area, we are much warmer. We'll be dropping down into the upper 70s over the next few hours, and then eventually down into the low 70s, and then overnight tonight it'll be another cool and comfortable evening. We'll see temperatures down around 60 degrees, maybe a few in the upper 50s, but again, we'll keep those easterly breezes. We'll keep them through tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, very similar to today. It'll be another warm and dry afternoon with plenty of sunshine as temperatures once again climb into the mid-80s. And that's what it's going to be like for the rest of the work week. We'll stay warm and dry with cooler conditions overnight. As we get closer to the weekend, we could see some rain in the forecast. So dry for the next few days, but notice the moisture coming from the Gulf, as well as any remnant moisture associated with that cold front. So the forecast kind of up in the air as far as how much rain we see, but it is possible that we will see some showers impacting the second half of our weekend. So again, sunshine for the next several days. Sunday right now looks to be the best chance to see some of those showers or storms. But once we get to next week, hopefully looking like we'll be a little bit cooler.
Some water customers in Noxubee County are under a boil water notice. The Piney Woods Water Association issued the alert for all customers. Repairs to a water line are being made in the Cotton Subdivision and Rose Circle areas. You should boil your water before drinking or using it. Coming up, we reveal our game of the week for this Friday and hear from Matt Luke on the Rebels' offensive struggles. That's coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Once Friday ends, we will be halfway home to the high school football season, or the end of the high school football season. We're already 7 weeks into the 2017 season, and now is the time to rise up and showcase your skills. Every team in division play from here on out, that makes Friday's matchups even more crucial. And we figured out our Carl Hogan Toyota Game of the Week on Instagram, and it's a crucial matchup Friday that will help decide the fate of Region 2 4A. We will be in Fulton for the division showdown between Shannon and Itawamba AHS as our game of the week on Friday. Both the Red Raiders and Indians have had great starts to the season, but this will be both teams' biggest test to date. Two high-scoring offenses will battle it out. They average over 35 points per game, both. They have impressive wins on their resume. Now, Itawamba's won the last 5 meetings against Shannon, so you can say there's going to be much that'll be on the line Friday. We'll be live at Indian Stadium at 5 and 6 on Friday, getting you set for Week 8 of the End Zone. Here's the newest high school football polls from the AP. West Point still at 1, Tupelo 3, Starkville 4 in the overall top 10. 6A, it's still Tupelo at 2 and Starkville at 3. In 5A, West Point still not unanimous. There's that one person holding out that thinks Cleveland Central's better than West Point. Hey, everything's an opinion, so I'll hold it to them. All right, 4A, nothing's really changed here either, except Louisville's now to 4. Itawamba's receiving votes. In 3A, South Pontotoc not in the top 5, but they are receiving votes. In 2A, Eupora has broken into the top 5 at number 5 this week. Calvin City still at 2. And in 1A, Okolola's broken into the top 5 as Smithfield drops out after the loss to the Chieftains. If you want to see these full polls, you can check out our website right now at WCBI.com. To college football, going into the 2017 season, it was well known Ole Miss's defense was going to go through some growing pains, but through the last 6 quarters of football, it's been the Ole Miss offense that's gone without a touchdown. So the plan going forward for Coach Matt Luke and the Rebels is keeping it easy and straightforward, not trying to complicate things going into the Auburn trip.
Our emphasis is on simplifying and playing fast. I think we're good enough to score points. We just got to go simplify and know what to do. We're good enough to run the ball. We're good enough at receiver to make plays. I think we just got to simplify and go execute. When we get in the red zone, we got to score points, but the big emphasis will be on third down this week. You have to convert on third down and stay on the field. If you're not staying on the field on third down, you're not scoring points. So I think that's a huge emphasis for us is staying on the field, having a great third down plan, and going to score points. Because I know we're good enough. We just got to go simplify, play fast, and go get it done.
The Rebels and Tigers kick off 11 a.m. on Saturday. We will have LSU Florida here on WCBI, and then Bama A&M a 6:15 p.m. kick on ESPN. And to the Lynx, the Magnolia Invitational finished its final day of its 3-day competition at Old Waverly Golf Club in West Point State. Ole Miss brought home the victory as they were your wire-to-wire team champion of the event with With a team total of 10 under par, freshman Julia Johnson of Ole Miss was your medalist at the event, carding a 209, winning the playoff hole to take the individual crown. Mississippi State finished in a fourth-place tie with Auburn as Katie Holt had the low score on the team. This was MSU's first home event since 2014. Memphis finished second, followed by Tennessee in third, LSU in sixth, and Southern Miss finished in seventh. So there you go, little golf for you. I know it's getting a little chilly out there, but we still got a chance.
Nice day out there, though.
Yeah.
Gorgeous day. It's about time we had this kind of weather. We've been dealing with all that heat and humidity over the last few weeks, so now it's starting to feel a little bit more like fall, which means fall's football.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Love some fall. All right, Amanda's going to have another look at that forecast coming up right after the break.
Well, the sunshine's going to stick around for at least the next few days. Once we get closer to the weekend, it's kind of all up in the air. It just depends on what that front back to our west does, what the tropics do. We could see some significant rain accumulation, or we could see almost nothing. So it'll just kind of depend. Keep an eye on it.
Wait and see.
Talk about a toss-up, huh?
Yeah, pretty
All
much.
right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.